चाइना और इंडिया की जीडीपी अगर मैं बात करूं तो ड्यूरिंग 1987 we were at the same levels, even slightly ahead of China.
So what are those goals which the clients ask to you that their investment could be multiplied or increased?
The young generation majorly looking for the capital appreciation.
India is slowly digitalizing. Cryptocurrency is something which youngsters are very interested in. So क्या ये legal है और क्या इसका scope है अगर हम cryptocurrency या bitcoins में invest करते हैं?
You are investing for a longer duration of time, definitely you will beat the inflation.
पहले ना दो तरह की सेविंग्स होती थी। एक होती थी एफडी जो पापा बैंक में कराते थे, और एक एफडी होती थी हमारे घर में जो हमारी मम्मियाँ अलमारी में छुपा के रखती थी। लेकिन आज बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टमेंट के ऑप्शंस हैं, जैसे क्रिप्टो करेंसी है, बिटकॉइन है, एसआईपी है, म्यूचुअल फंड्स हैं। कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करें, कैसे इन्वेस्ट करें, समझ नहीं आता। और इन्वेस्टमेंट से याद आया, आपको पता है कि इंडिया और चाइना एक टाइम पर जीडीपी के टर्म्स में बराबर था, लेकिन आज ऐसा नहीं है। कब, क्यों और कैसे ये सब हुआ, इन सब सवालों का जवाब आपको मिलने वाला है आज के इस पॉडकास्ट में, क्योंकि आज हमारे साथ हैं एलजीटी वेल्थ इंडिया के डायरेक्टर मिस्टर नवनीत तोमर, जो कि एक प्राइवेट बैंकर हैं और वेल्थ मैनेजर हैं।
हमने बचपन से सीखा है कि एक इंसान की 5 बेसिक नीड्स होती हैं: फूड, वाटर, क्लोथिंग, शेल्टर एंड स्लीप। अब चाहे ये 5 बेसिक नीड्स हो या फिर जीवन की कोई भी लग्जरी हो, इस सब को पाने के लिए चाहिए होता है पैसा। पैसा कैसे कमाएं, ये सवाल आजकल हर एक के मन में है। पहले हम लोग एफडीज करते थे, लेकिन आज एसआईपीज होती हैं। तो काफ़ी सारे ऑप्शन हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट के, पैसा सेव करने के। और यही सब सवालों के जवाब देने के लिए आज वॉक टॉक रेडियो पे हैं हमारे साथ मिस्टर नवनीत तोमर, द डायरेक्टर ऑफ एलजीटी वेल्थ इंडिया। अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू यू सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर, कैसा लग रहा है यहाँ पर आकर?
बहुत अच्छा
सर। आज हम जितने भी क्वेश्चंस और क्वेरीज होती हैं हम सब की, वो हम आपसे क्लियर करने वाले हैं, क्योंकि आपके पास 14 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है इन प्राइवेट बैंकिंग एंड वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट। सबसे पहले आप एक ही कंपनी एलजीटी वेल्थ इंडिया के बारे में बात करते हैं। इसका फुल फॉर्म क्या है और क्या सर्विसेज आप अपने क्लाइंट्स को देते हैं?
So LGT Wealth India is formed by the strategic investment from LGT Group. LGT Group is one of the largest private banking and asset management company in the world. It's a family-owned private banking asset management company. The chairman of the bank is you're sitting either Prince Max, and as the Prince Max joined in 2004-5, our assets from 57 billion has reached to right now 320 billion. There is a decent growth to 22%. LGT Wealth India started operation in India in September 2022, and we have offices in almost 16 cities in India. We are also covering tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and the main, we are focusing on investment management, portfolio management, credit solutions, private equity investment, estate planning, trust planning, and succession planning, which is a new field in India. And we want to be a long-term partner with our clients to grow their wealth. We believe in core values like commitment, excellence, and sustainability. You'll happy to know that LGT is managing world's largest impact portfolio. Impact is the companies which are doing positive impact on the society, positive impact on the environment. And I'm proud to say that we are managing in our private banking division close to $320 billion USD. In our private equity division, we are managing close to $4 billion USD. And in our institutional in assets management, we are managing close to $100 billion USD. So this is a brief detail about LGT Wealth India and LGT Group.
Sir, as you just said, wealth management and private banking. तो इन दो टर्म्स में क्या मेजर डिफरेंस होता है?
So if you see from a client's point of view, it looks same to client, like private banking and wealth management. But there is a fine difference. There is a fine difference, and the fine difference comes with the client profile. In private banking, the client which private banking outfits are managing are ultra HNI and super HNI clients where they have the investable surplus.
So to be precise, what is HNI?
High net worth individual.
High net.
So high net worth individual are those who have the assets more than you say around 1 million USD. That comes out to be around 8 crore plus. And ultra HNI are the clients who have investable surplus of more than 2 million USD. In Indian terms, around 14 to 15 crores. And so in the private, we were discussing of the private banking. The private banking, the defined difference is that the client profile which in the private banking outfits are managing the clients' investable surplus are high.
Mm-hmm.
So the solutions are slightly, the clients which are looking for the complex financial solutions. There's something complexity. So private banking then comes into the picture. In wealth management, it's a broader concept. It's like in all the HNI, also some are getting their wealth managed by the wealth manager, but it's a broader concept, and the wealth which the clients, their wealth is like lower wealth can also be considered under the wealth management. Second is the product solutions. The product solution which are provided in the private banking are, you should say, they're like the global investment solutions, which might not be possible in wealth management because of the portfolio size. Second is your private equity solution, which start in India with a decent ticket sizes. So in this wealth management, that is not possible. And if you say the relationship management, majorly private banking relationship manager manages close to 15 to 20 families, big families, large families. In the wealth management, most of the outfit manage, like most of the relationship manager manage close to 150 to 200 families. So the relationship in the private banking are very strong in that sense with the investor. And if you see the regulatory is more stringent or on the private banking, although wealth management is a kind of team solutions where total team come up with the solutions for the client. So if I am not, I would like to say that private banking exclusive form of wealth management, and wealth management is a broader thing, and one can look about the options as per their requirements.
Basically, different clients have different needs, and you cater private banking or wealth management to them. So there must be some common goals which the clients seek, and they seek help from you to achieve those goals. So what are those goals which the clients ask to you that their investment could be multiplied or increased?
So different clients have different financial goals. It depends upon their life cycle. So we start with the capital, like the young generation majorly looking for the capital appreciation. So capital appreciation is they are looking for the growth options. They want to grow their wealth. Second phase comes, you are suppose one is around age of 30-35 years. They want to grow their wealth for the retirement purpose. They want to grow their wealth for their child education. They are looking for the child marriages. So that is phase is on a capital appreciation. Second phase that comes around 55 to 60 is preservation stage, where the assets which you have grown want to preserve these assets. So you don't want to take the risk. You want your capital to be preserved. And third stage comes after retirement is the distribution phase, where you want the assets which you have created. You want to reap the benefits out of the asset. It's also known as deaccumulation. So you are opting for the regular income options, and you want to get these assets transferred to the next generation seamlessly. And then the solutions like retirement planning, where you are looking, right now, you see the main thing is that inflation. So after retirement, you considering the current inflation, the future inflation, you want to create assets, and you want these assets to give you benefits after the retirement. And there are also solutions like estate planning. You want your assets created should be transferred to the next generation. And for estate planning, there are options like the private trust creation, and the will formation is also optional. What are the gifting options you are looking for your family? And there are also in LGT we provide services like philanthropy services. Like you have earned from the society, you want to give back to the society. So for giving back to the society, you have some ideas in mind, and we have a team. We, as per the wishes of the client, we decide. We can work with them closely, and we can formulate the strategy for the philanthropy. Suppose one is looking for the child education, like they want to focus on the child education. So there's particular NGOs and the organization which are working particularly in the child education. So this philanthropy services is also a new discussed topic in India.
You talked about different phases of the human, that retirement, post-retirement, and pre-retirement. So basically, if an individual is working right now, 25 से 30 साल का वो लड़का है या लड़की है और 30,000 उसकी सैलरी है, तो उस पैसे को वो कैसे डिवाइड करे अपने एक्सपेंसेस में, अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट में, ताकि उसको एक हायर ग्रोथ मिल सके पोस्ट रिटायरमेंट?
So first of all, if someone is earning 30,000, then I think there would be any tax liability on him. So disposable income would be 30,000. And there is a global rule like 50-30-20. 50% should go on your necessities, your needs. 30% should go on your wants, discretionary, and 20% should go on the savings. So considering this, one can look for this. Once you might be, he thinks that the salary is low, but he should start investing as early as possible. He can start with smaller amount. He can choose for the SIP. Second option is that he should also plan for the emergency. He should create the emergency funds. So 30,000, it should be around 4 to 5 times of the monthly salary. So he should look for 1,50,000 to around.
This is the emergency fund we're talking about.
Emergency fund in case, because if he's working somewhere, there could be unprecedented time like job loss and like this. So he could this emergency fund he can use in that sense, and also he should also look for the retirement option, because the Albert Einstein said that the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So one should also take the benefit of the compounding by investing early. And he can also look, as he is employed, so he should also opt for the PPF. EPF, Employee Provident Fund. So where the employer and employee both are contributing. So plus he can also look for the NPS as an option. He will get the benefit of ATC, but the salary is not that there could be any big tax liability, but he can also in future look for the NPS, where one is getting 50,000 benefit over and above the.
Can you please explain what is NPS?
National Pension Scheme is basically the government of India has created PFRDA for this. So one can opt for it, and the fund is managed by different asset management companies, and they invest as per your choice. So, and the benefit that you can use this fund when the corpus is created at the retirement, you can use it as an income. So, and the additional advantage is that you are getting 50,000 over and above 1,50,000 under ATC. So, so this is NPS is something the youngsters should opt for from their salary.
So, other than SIP or the NPS, what are the other investment options open to more high salary, class people? What are the more investment options?
So, so SIP is something. One, if someone is earning 10 lakhs in a month, or someone is earning 30,000 in a month, everyone should opt, because you will this create a habit of investments. So you're every month your money is getting deducted. So you're creating a financial habit of investing, and you have decided some financial goals in life. You can design, or as per discussion with the financial advisor, you can work out the amount of SIP you need every month. SIP plus NPS, then we can look as you have lump sum of investment. You are getting suppose you are getting bonus from your yearly bonus. Then you can look for the lump sum investments as per the macroeconomic scenario. You can invest in the equity, you can invest in the hybrid categories. So at the early stage, you will get the benefit of compounding due to making investment in these kind of things. There are other options as well, where if there are bigger lump sum, that they can look for the PMS as an option.
PMS?
Portfolio management services, where the professional is managing the portfolio, and it's more slightly focused approach of managing. And as per the SEBI regulation, 50 lakhs is the minimum corpus required for the PMS for investment. And one can look for this option as well if he or she has a decent income and decent money he or she got. And other investment option, one can look for the insurance, something one should not miss, because in case of...
We're talking about life insurance.
Yeah, life insurance plus health insurance. Life insurance is also very important, reason being in case of any, because you have designed some financial goals and decided some financial goals for your family. In case something mishappening, your family will be safe. So they are getting lump sum amount that they can invest, and these financial goals would not be compromised. And health insurance is also very important, reason being because if you are not opting for the health insurance, in case of any emergency comes, and then your hard-earned money would be compromised. So health insurance, you're just managing your risk in a better way. So these are the options which one younger should look for. And as early you go for the health insurance, you continue your premium. You at the time of retirement, if you are buying it, your premium would be very high. So these are the options, and definitely they should get in touch with their financial advisor, because the new things comes into the market, and they can discuss their financial goals, and the financial advisor will recommend them accordingly.
So saving at a very young age and investing at a very young age, these two are very, viable and advantageable options. But, people like me or people like Sagar, who is in our camera team, he says that even if my salary grows, I'm not able to save enough money. Like if I was on 20K 6 months back and I am on 30K now, so he says that my expenses also goes up. So what are some tips for saving money?
So first of all, budgeting is very important. You should budget your monthly expenses. Yeah. So if you are planning, you are budgeting every month, because you will not do the impulsive buying. You rightly said the youngsters, millennials, generation Z, they are more inclined towards the new gadgets. They are taking high interest loans, and that could be a risky in the future, because they are paying high interest. Their saving is getting compromised somewhere. So one should look for every month how much they should spend. I think the global rule 50-30-20 looks good for them, and they can. Second option is they should start investing small. Reason being, if they start to create the habit of investments at the early stage, they will not get into the impulsive buying. And discretionary wants are endless. One should think that it should not be that in future, it should not compromise my financial goals. It should not the retirement planning is also very important if you are starting at early stage. And first of all, if you have taken the debt, first cut off the high interest debt. You should target to cut off these high interest debt, because as soon as you cut it, then your savings and your savings will improve. Reason being, you are paying higher. So like if you are buying any mobile or you are buying any gadgets, these are majorly in the personal loan category, and the interest rates are very high. So one should avoid this and take the advice from your seniors how they did it. Like they will guide you, and I think you can get in touch with the advisors or the wealth managers in case you need any assistance. but try to control all these impulses.
We just talked about debt and debt trap. I've seen many people, they take loan like home loan, education loan, or student loan, and then for some period of time they are unable to pay the EMIs, and their loan amount get increased. So when they are paying the EMI, only the interest is paying off. The principal amount is there. So how do get out of that debt trap?
So definitely in last, post like last 2.5 years, interest rate have gone up. So the EMIs which we were paying earlier, the interest portion and the principal portion, the combination of both. The major part right now, if you're paying the same EMI, you are paying of the interest portion more, and the principal part is not getting reduced. So one can what they can do, they can pay off like early. They can pay in lump sum. They can
Large amount, basically.
They can, suppose you are getting some bonuses, just pay first your they can pay in the lump sum. So that will reduce your principal amount and the future installments which you are paying. And that will, the interest portion plus the principal portion is expected to go down. And there is also a rule like global rule where 40% EMI rule. Once the total income which you are, disposable income which you are earning, the 40%, not more than 40% should go in the EMI. And suppose, because right now, personal loan, your home loan, these are readily available. So home loan I think is good because you are creating an asset. And real estate is something which is also give you appreciation plus in future regular income. So this right now, there could be a pain. But second thing, as I told you earlier, budgeting is very important. You should budget your plan. And before taking, you should do the calculation how much loan you should take. And if you are taking too much loan, it's also impacting your CIBIL score. If you are delaying your EMIs, it will impact your CIBIL score. And if you are going to look for taking loan again, then your the cost of loan or your interest will be higher more. So this one can do. They can also look for the other options of loans. Sometimes employer is giving some, if you are working with some organization, employer is giving at a discounted rate. You can offer these options and also look for the options of investment through SIPs. So that can safeguard one from the debt trap. And as I told you earlier, impulsive buying, try to avoid impulsive buying, because if you are going for impulsive
a lavish car, a lavish home.
Yes. So if you are going for impulsive buying, it also increases the stress. Suppose you are earning X amount and your 80% is going in EMI. So it will create a financial stress. If you have a financial stress, then it will create the health, like your health would also be compromised in future. So I think one should be healthy, wealthy, and sound to continue.
The right to be healthy before wealthy.
Yes. So focus on your health as well. I think, and along with this, the financial stress, one can control the financial stress by doing these kind of options.
We are talking about SIPs, investment, real estate. But in traditional times, we had a conversation about FDs, fixed deposits. Our grandfathers, they always had a fixed amount in their FDs. So is FD a safer option for investment?
So yeah, definitely FDs are safer options, and for wealth preservation and wealth distribution, this is one of the good option. And there is an insurance from the RBS subsidiary, CICDC, and of around of 5 lakh rupees per depositor
Per FD.
Per FD. So, but there are certain constraints which I believe one should also consider. Like first is the interest rate risk. Suppose we are going ahead with the FD with 7% return. So in case interest rate goes up, one is not getting benefit of, they are losing the opportunity to higher interest rate because their FD is locked for lower interest rate. So interest rate risk. Second is the liquidity. So if one wants to break the FD in between, there are penal charges. So penal charges one has to bear in case of breaking. So liquidity is another concern. Third is the FD, they hardly beat the inflation. So real return from the FD are mostly negative if we consider the inflation. So it's a good option of investment, but consider these options as well. And you have other options which we can look for, like through mutual fund, debt fixed income instrument, you are diversifying your investments. And there is also a risk which people forgo, like a bank do the KYC thing. But one, as an investor, I should know about our bank, know your bank, which is called KYB. So one should know about the bank, their credential, creditworthiness, and their rating. It depends upon because going and depositing money just without checking the bank could be a riskier. So one should, second thing, they can diversify into multiple banks. That will reduce the risk of concentration into single bank. And as I told you earlier, like mutual funds are the good options of investment. And young generation diversification is also important. You can diversify into different asset classes, because if you are not beating the inflation, then this could also be, you will not get the compounding benefits.
So FD is safer, but the investment is limited. The return is limited in comparison to other investment options.
Yes.
And also the RBI will only, give you 5 lakh rupees money if the bank goes bankrupt or there's any unforeseen liability in the bank. So 5 lakhs of FD is safe in any bank.
So mostly banks in India are safe. After the Lehman crisis 2008, the government of India, like our capital adequacy ratio improved a lot. It is a minimum requirement of capital adequacy ratio. If you are below this, then you are not, the bank can't lend. So, and there is a tier 1, tier 2 ratios in the bank. So these ratios in India are very, they're well controlled. And there is no such kind of risk. But diversification into different banks, because it will give you mental peace. So I'm not saying, but after the incidents of years back, moratorium, the client, the investor is slightly skeptical.
अच्छा, एक टाइम पे ना हमारे भारत को सोने की चिड़िया बुलाते थे, लेकिन आज ऐसा नहीं है और हमारी जीडीपी अच्छी जा रही है, काफी अच्छी है, लेकिन इन कंपैरिजन टू अदर कंट्रीज हम थोड़ा पीछे हैं और 1990 के करीब हम चाइना के आसपास थे इन टर्म्स ऑफ जीडीपी. तो ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि हम इतना पीछे आ गए और चाइना हमसे आगे निकल गया?
So चाइना और इंडिया की जीडीपी अगर मैं बात करूं तो ड्यूरिंग 1987 we were at the same levels
of
GDP, or we were ahead of, even slightly ahead of China. But China became one trillion economy in 1998, somewhere 1998, and हम लोग 1 trillion बने 2007. So after 9 years. So अगर मैं बात करूं कि हमारी जीडीपी उतनी ग्रो क्यों नहीं हुई और कि क्यों ग्रो हुई है, तो सिंपल रीजन है कि क्या है, इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स. जो इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स चाइना में आए हैं ड्यूरिंग 1978, they 1978 में due to the efforts of the then the efforts were into the making the China as a export oriented country, and the efforts were into making the China a manufacturing hub, and these reforms played very well for the China, and new enterprises came. And now these are now multi-billionaire enterprises, global world top retail enterprises. तो इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स हो गए. हमारे इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स थोड़े लेट आए 1991 में,
द एलजीटी पॉलिसी.
सो 1991 में जो रिफॉर्म्स अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ मिस्टर पीवी नरसिम्हा राव, तो उस टाइम में जो 1991 में रिफॉर्म्स थे बेसिकली इन ऑर्डर टू अबॉलिश द लाइसेंस राज which was prevailing in the country. And जो economic reforms थे, it took long decent time to in companies को कोई अभी शुरू में जो लाइसेंस राज एबॉलिश करने के लिए कोई ऐसा एक्सपोर्ट हब बनाने के लिए या मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब बनाने के लिए उस हिसाब से वर्क नहीं हुआ. But now we are since 2014 our GDP focus more on the export side, and और अगर मैं बात करूँ, वी आर द 5th largest economy in the world. एंड इसके अलावा जो सेकंड चीज़ है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, अगर आप बात करोगे चाइना दे फोकस very much on the infrastructure side. They created shipping lines, they created the roads, high-speed train networks, जो थोड़ा सा हम लोग मिस कर गए, हम थोड़ा सा, लेकिन now the base is very fast. Yes. And इसके अलावा जो बताया, जैसे मैंने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपोर्ट पे फोकस रहा, इसके अलावा R&D पे भी चाइना का अगर आप बात करोगे, they focus more into the research and development. And right now, if you see global leadership coming, artificial intelligence, EV space, they are majorly from the China. And fourth is the demographics. The demographics of the China, they had the young population, and they use this young population very, like they're young plus they are skillful. So they focus more on the job creation, and this helped them when the decent growth in the terms of GDP, and these factors which help China to move ahead, and we are slowly but catching up.
ये तो हमने कर ली चाइना और इंडिया की बात, लेकिन अगर सिर्फ इंडिया की बात हम करें कि आने वाले लेट्स से 5 सालों में या 10 सालों में हमारी जीडीपी और हमारी इकोनॉमी कितना ग्रो करने वाली है?
So अगर मैं बात करूँ, our GDP is the 5th largest in the world. We are close to around 7.73 trillion USD, and in terms of purchasing power parity, we are the top 3 economy in the world, and we are one of the fastest growing economy. The things which we are supporting India right now, which global countries are facing challenge, is like demographics. The demographics are very supportive in India. Our median age is 29. And they are more right now. The focus is more on the skill development, and the second is the decarbonization, which world is facing right now. So if you see energy, which energy development is focused more into the renewable energy. We are focusing on the decarbonization, and the third is the digitalization. Digitalization in India, if you see, हम बहुत तेजी से डिजिटलाइजेशन की तरफ मूव कर रहे हैं आफ्टर द आधार स्टैक. सो वन कैन टेक पर्सनल लोन थ्रू ऑनलाइन, वन कैन invest online. So these facilities are available due to our digital stack. And the major thing is that world right now is facing is the de-globalization. But every country wants to safeguard themselves. So de-globalization, India is playing very fast. Like there is a discussed topic at China Plus One. So China Plus One, we are planning to be the manufacturing hub for the world. We wanted to be a factory to the world. So we are getting up the pace very fast. In terms of future, there was a research done by the SBI. Even there was yesterday report from the Jeffries that by 2027 we will be the third largest economy. Our GDP will be close to 6 trillion.
And US and China will be above us.
Yeah, definitely. First would be US and second would be China. And there was analysis by the Morgan Stanley, which expect by 2030 our GDP would be close to 7.5 trillion USD, and our market capitalization, equity market capitalization, could be close to around 10 trillion USD. And but we expect that our economy would be third largest soon. And by as government through the Niti Aayog as planning for the developed economy by 2047. And Niti Aayog, known as the think tank of India, they are working on it and expected to take our economy to 30 trillion USD. And the best part is that when our economy is at around 3.73 trillion right now, our per capita income is $2,600. So we'll catch up the pace in the per capita income. When the per capita income increases from here, the more the more disposable income will go into the discretionary spending. So there is a consumption boom in India going forward. Like if you compare globally, our per capita consumption in for the cars, for your mostly air conditioners or washing machines. These consumer durables also, or per capita consumption is low. So this expected to be, there could be a boom in this going forward.
You said India is, slowly digitalizing, and cryptocurrency is something which youngsters are very, interested in. And there were many rumors about cryptocurrency की legal नहीं है, करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए. So क्या ये legal है और क्या इसका scope है अगर हम cryptocurrency या bitcoin में invest करते हैं?
So cryptocurrency, government is they fine, like government has a fine approach for the cryptocurrency, and first of all, government has not denied the benefits of this blockchain technology, but on the other way, the government has also came out with the thing like this is used for the illegal purposes, for the illegal activities. So one is investing in cryptocurrency. One should consider various factors in mind. First of all, it's very volatile. Its price movement is very fast. So there is a chances of principal loss in that. Second is that there is no as such regulatory to manage the cryptocurrency. So government is for in future planning to come up with the bill for the cryptocurrency. One should take a proper view from take a proper ध्यान रखना है कि अपने को कि कोई अगर आता है कोई ऐसे RBI फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ऑफ फाइनेंस की तरफ से, तो उस पर थोड़ा, क्योंकि इस पे गवर्नमेंट ने फोकस कर रहे हैं कि कुछ करे, लेकिन अभी कोई रेगुलेशन है नहीं क्रिप्टो करेंसी में. और इसके अलावा क्या, देयर इज नो कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन. इफ एनी रॉन्ग हैपन देन देयर इज नो कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन.
लेकिन ये प्रोटेक्शन हमको SIPs या म्यूचुअल फंड में मिल सकता है?
Definitely, there is a regulatory in this. There is a regulatory, like SEBI is a regulatory, but in cryptocurrency there is no regulatory as such. But if one wants to invest, there are various options available. That there are exchanges, there are brokers which are doing it. But one should be mindful before taking such decisions. If there are other options available, but definitely millennials, young generations are moving towards it and don't understand the risk. But keeping in mind these, until there is a clarity from the government, one should think twice before.
Also, अभी हमारा कुछ टाइम पहले ही बजट आया है, द इंटरिम बजट, एंड द टैक्स स्लैब रिमेन्स द सेम जो कि पिछले साल थी. कुछ लोगों को ना अपने टैक्स सेविंग को लेकर बहुत सारे प्लान्स होते हैं कि हमको टैक्स एग्जेम्पशन चाहिए, तो इन्वेस्टमेंट के थ्रू वो अपना टैक्स कैसे बचा सकते हैं?
सो इन्वेस्टमेंट के थ्रू अगर मैं बात करूँ ATC के अंदर, तो वन कैन ऑप्ट फॉर दी PPF, और इफ ही इज एम्प्लॉय EPF definitely consider there, and ELSS is also an option one can look for. There are tax saving FDs are available. Infrastructure bonds are also available. These are the options which are available under ATC. ATCCD के अंदर LPS is the option where over and above 1.5 lakhs, there is a 1.5 lakh in ATC. Over and above 1.5 lakhs, there is an option of ATCCD which is for the NPS.
तो वो पैसा अगर आप NPS पे, नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम में, या फिर PPF या EPF पे लगाते हैं, तो आपका टैक्स बच सकता है.
हाँ, इसके अलावा ऑप्शन से सपोज स्पाउस, आप अपने सेल्फ प्लस स्पाउस पर किड्स के लिए, और फॉर दी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस 25,000 का उसमें है. इसके अलावा 80D में आता है. प्लस इफ यू हैव अ सीनियर सिटीजन पेरेंट्स, इफ यू आर टेकिंग पॉलिसी फॉर देम, तो उसमें क्या, देयर इज अ लिमिट अप टू 50,000 अवेलेबल. Plus, if you are taking home loan, also the interest part of the home loan will be directly considered under 24E. And there's other, like if one is opting for this education loan interest plus principal both are getting considered for the tax exemption. Interest is considered under, as I told you earlier, and the principal will be considered under ATC. And other options one can look for is the tax saving, is the ELSS. As I told you, this is one of the good options where one can invest. There is a criteria, there is a lock-in this, but this is also a good investment for participation in the equity, where you can also opt for the SIP analysis. This is one of the good options. So one can save tax and they can consult their CA for further queries.
अच्छा, SIP में मैंने सुना है कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हर महीने में 5,000 बचाता हूँ और 10 साल के लिए मैं बचाता हूँ, तो 1 साल में हो गए वो 60,000 और 10 साल में हो गए 6 लाख। तो 10 साल के बाद उसको वो 6 लाख जो है वो 23 लाख या 25 लाख भी बन सकते हैं। तो ऐसा सही है क्या? मतलब इतना इंटरेस्ट SIP से मिल सकता है?
इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, बिकॉज इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द मार्केट डायनामिक्स।
अगर मार्केट ऊपर जाता है तो जरूर मिलेगा।
तो क्या है, अगर मैं बात करूं कि SIP में अगर मार्केट नीचे जा रहा है जब भी आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, तो अब बात करें रुपी कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग हो रही है। सपोज आज मैं मार्केट में लगा रहा हूँ 22,000 निफ्टी है, और आज मैंने एक SIP की, मार्केट नीचे आ गए 20,000 पे, देन माई SIP इज गोइंग। तो एट एवरी लेवल यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग। एंड SIP के रिटर्न्स क्या है कि एक तो आपको क्या है, रिस्क आपका कम हो गया, यू आर टेकिंग बेनिफिट ऑफ रुपी कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग, रिस्क आपका कम हो गया। दूसरा क्या है, यू आर क्रिएटिंग ए लंप सम एंड द रिटर्न आर, सपोज यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग फॉर a longer duration of time, definitely you will beat the inflation and make better returns as compared to other asset class in equity, but your time horizons will be longer. And second thing is that they depends upon the market dynamics. There will be market has given decent return, earnings अच्छी आ रही है, sentiments अच्छे, definitely you're making better returns. But it should be longer term, not be short.
बेसिकली पेशेंस चाहिए कि लंबे समय के लिए पैसा इकट्ठा करेंगे तो रिटर्न्स भी अच्छे आएंगे। एंड गोल्ड और रियल एस्टेट के बारे में क्या कहना है, अगर उसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट की जाए?
अगर गोल्ड की मैं बात करूँ, गोल्ड इज ए सेफ हेवन, इज आल्सो इन्फ्लेशन हेज। और गोल्ड में एक चीज कंसिडर, अगर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दो, आज के टाइम गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी ऑप्शन है सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम है, वेयर यू आर गेटिंग रेगुलर इंटरेस्ट एज वेल 2.5% का। बट वन शुड कीप इन माइंड, गोल्ड वॉलेटाइल रहता है और परफॉर्मेंस हो सकता है 2-3 साल नहीं हो, 1 साल बहुत अच्छी रिटर्न हो जाए, तो बट वॉलेटाइल रहता है। देयर इज ए रिसेंट मूवमेंट इन गोल्ड एंड इंडियंस वी हैव ए चार्म फॉर गोल्ड, तो वो तो है ही। इसके अलावा रियल एस्टेट इज आल्सो ए गुड ऑप्शन ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट। रियल एस्टेट के बेनिफिट ये है कि यू आर क्रिएटिंग ए वेल्थ प्लस एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, एट द टाइम ऑफ रिटायरमेंट यू आर लुकिंग, इट विल हेल्प यू गेटिंग द रेगुलर इनकम। सो रेगुलर इनकम का भी एक अच्छा ऑप्शन है रियल एस्टेट। एंड बट रियल एस्टेट के साथ एक चैलेंज आता है कि the amount which you require is very high. So उसके लिए आपका अमाउंट की अगर आप इतना कर सकते हैं if you are taking home loan, otherwise तो वो आप real estate is also option, but my consideration would be that you should diversify your assets. You should don't put all your eggs in one basket. Real estate भी रखो, आप ऐसे भी रखो, और आप इंश्योरेंस भी लो, but you should diversify your assets. Not in one. गोल्ड भी होना चाहिए, गोल्ड is also a good option of investment. तो
इससे ऑप्शंस खुल जाते हैं और रिस्क मिनिमाइज हो जाता है।
हाँ, if you are diversifying into different asset classes, definitely it will reduce it will manage your risk in a better way.
सर बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके, और आपका यूजफुल इंसाइट से हमारे व्यूअर्स को और मुझे भी बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, और आगे मैं भी कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट का डिसीजन लूंगा तो इन बातों को ध्यान में रख के लूंगा। एंड विद दिस वी कम टू द एंड ऑफ आवर पॉडकास्ट. This was Mr. Navneet Tomer, Director of LGT Wealth India, and this is RJ Gautam from WalkTalk Radio, signing off. Jai Hind.